All right. Good morning and welcome to another Friday morning safety meeting. Today is the 20th of March, so it's almost April, which is just crazy to think about. Just a reminder too about the kickoff meeting coming up. Our 15 days without a recordable, let's try to get those numbers up. 15 days without a first aid injury and 3 days without a vehicle incident. Just a reminder that the bigger those numbers are, the more money that everybody gets in their retirement. So today we're going to talk about fire protection. Just a couple quick reminders. If you have a 20-pound fire extinguisher, which are the big ones that go in the fuel cells, please just let me know. We're just trying to get a quick inventory on them of who has them, so that way we're not buying more than we have to. They're very expensive, so we don't want to have them out there just sitting in trailers and not being used. If we can get them back to the shop, get them inspected, and get them back out, that'd be perfect. Please check all your fire extinguishers and just let us know if you need any swapped out. We have quite a few at the shop right now, and we'll have the company come and service any that need to be serviced. So they're good for 1 year. So if the date's older than 1 year where they're punched out on the card or they don't have a ticket on them at all, then just let me know and we'll work something out. So I know that we did this in October, but we just want to do it again, mostly just to get people thinking about it and get fire extinguishers cycled through. So we'll talk about the fire tetrahedron first. So think about this as being links of a chain. So if you take away one link of the chain, then the fire goes out. So fire is basically just a chemical chain reaction, and it includes heat, oxygen, and fuel source. So the fuel, if you're burning wood in your fireplace, you're going to have wood be your fuel. The heat keeps the fuel releasing gas in order to burn, and the oxygen allows it to burn. So if you take away one of these, you take away the logs out of your fire, the fire is going to go out. If you take the heat away, so you put water on the fire is going to go out. And if you take the oxygen away, so you take and replace all the oxygen with an inert gas, and the fire is going to go out. So just like we talked about before, all fire extinguishers need to be tagged and inspected by a professional every year. There's a few different classes of fire. The most common one's going to be your Class A fires. So that's your ordinary combustibles. An ABC extinguisher is going to cover all three of these first ones. So that's going to be your logs, paper, stuff like that. Your second one's going to be a Class B fire, which is going to be flammable liquids. So diesel fuel, stuff like that is going to fall under a Class B fire. And those extinguishers you can also use a dry chem for. Class C is going to be your electrical fires. Once again, you can use your dry chems for it. However, they do cause a little bit more damage than something like a CO2 or something to that effect. Class D fires involve combustible metals. Those get a little bit more complicated. You're going to want to use dry powder extinguisher, which we do not typically carry. However, if you're working at a site, like let's say you're working at Global Foundries or something in an area where they do have concerns of that, they are going to have the proper fire extinguishers for that, and they should notify you. Class K are kitchen fires. You're going to use a Class K extinguisher, and hopefully we're not having any large-scale commercial cooking operations on our job sites, so we shouldn't have to worry about this. An ABC extinguisher is typically going to work for Class K, but it's not going to be clean in doing so. So you can see in this picture, there's a few different types of fire extinguishers. On the left are Class K, so those are kitchen extinguishers. Down at the bottom are all your ABC dry chems, which are what we typically are using. Over to the right are CO2 extinguishers. And up in the kind of top right, that silver one, that's what's called a pressurized water cylinder, or APW. And that one, those are handy if you're going to be catching a lot of like brush, or you're worried about catching brush and stuff on fire, because we can recharge those ourselves. So they're a little bit more expensive to purchase the extinguisher, but once you have it, you can just keep refilling it. Everything to do with fire always loves acronyms. So the one for using fire extinguishers is going to be PASS. It's going to be pull the pin, aim at the base of the fire. That's where a lot of people go wrong, is they aim for the top of the fire and it doesn't do anything. So you want to aim it at the fuel source. You want to squeeze the lever and sweep from side to side. Just a reminder, if you're dealing with a Class B fire, which is a flammable liquid, you want to be kind of coating the fluid with the dry chem. You don't want to be just spraying it directly in because it's just going to spread over it. Versus if you kind of lay it over in light coats, almost like you're trying to spray paint, get that first coat of spray paint on it. That's going to work far better and splash it around less and not spread the fire as much. The other thing is if you have a fuel fire, if the fuel is running anywhere, you want to dam it up before it can travel to anywhere that could be a bad situation. So what do you need and where? Anytime that you're transferring large quantities of fuel, a 20-pound fire extinguisher is required. So those are those big ones. They're very expensive. So take care of them the best that you can. Anytime you're doing hot work, you need a 10-pound fire extinguisher. Anytime you're operating a commercial motor vehicle, a 2.5-pound is required inside any occupied structures. It just needs to fit the code of NFPA 1 and 101. So that's all prescribed. So if you walk around the office buildings and stuff, you'll see various fire extinguishers in different places. And all projects should have at least 5 pounds worth of extinguisher. I don't know if you've ever tried to put out a fire with just a little 2.5-pound fire extinguisher, but you're not going to get very far with it. And you're probably going to expose yourself to more risk than the benefit may be. So aside from like a small trash can fire or something like that, you're not really going to put out much with a 2.5-pound fire extinguisher. Anytime that you decide to fight a fire, your hazards are going to be burns, carbon monoxide, cyanide, asphyxiation, or cancer in the long term. So especially diesel fires and stuff like that do cause they have a lot of carcinogens in them, and they do cause a lot of cancer issues. Same with the plastics and stuff like that that'll be burning. Obviously, if you're burning logs and stuff like that, there's a lot lower risk of that. So there's some other options out there, and we don't typically see them, but you might see them on a job site. So they have these bowling ball looking things, and they're basically dry chem extinguishers that are going to blow up. So if you throw them, let's say you have a dumpster fire or something, you throw them in the dumpster, they heat up, they blow up, and they put the fire out, supposedly. The other thing that we have are the fire blankets. So if somebody has burns, you can snuff them out with the fire blankets. And then you have the treated gel ones, which are great for burns and stuff like that after somebody's been on fire. Just remember, if you're on fire, stop, drop, and roll. We'll go back to elementary school on that one. And people often forget it in adulthood.
Yeah, I got a quick question for you, Tom, on those 26,000-pound vehicles, the 2.5-pounders. So those got to be secure.
Yes, they can't be rolling around. They have to be secured with a commercial device.
Yeah, that's an important one. We've gotten nabbed a couple of times in the last calendar year, having those things roll around in our 26,000-pound vehicles. So let's take a look at that too, please.
And with the 2.5-pounders, there's 2 different styles with 2 different mounts that we typically have. So if for some reason the 2.5-pound extinguisher that you get doesn't fit in your mount, just let us know and we can either get you a different mount or get you a different extinguisher.
Yep. Again, we'll be going around helping, but again, like a village, if we all quickly look at our fire extinguishers, we can get this project done very fast. So that's kind of the point of today's topic. All right, Ben is off today. He's traveling to Florida. So he asked me to kind of step in on the main part of it. And then Ed, are you on for your part in a little bit?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Do you want me to drive or?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, Ed. All right. So this week's code of conduct, we're going to strive for restraint, discretion, and integrity. Hopefully this is not a new one for anyone, but it's a very, very good one to monitor yourself with and to obey by and do your best to follow. So exercise self-discipline, avoid impulsive acts, and communication contributes to our safety, harmony, and professionalism. Think before you do. Get in a lot of trouble if you flip that. All right, no new hires this week, but we will have quite a bit for next week. I think we have 5 new employees joining us in the next 7 days, or we got 1 today and I think 4 on Monday. So be a good list for next week. All right, so these great ownership topics that we've been doing. This was done by Ben himself. So I'm going to quickly kind of go through this. What can we do every day to drive performance? Think like an owner. The individual discussions or the individual decisions that we make each day directly impact the company's long-term health and our own financial futures. Think like an owner is about taking initiative and make choice with company outcomes in mind rather than just simply performing our daily tasks. Start by aligning with our standards, expectations, and goals. Make decisions that support our mission, uphold the code of conduct, and support our future. Stay true to what we stand for rather than taking shortcuts when things get tough. That's a big one. Remember our priorities: safety first, then quality, then production and efficiency. Take ownership and be accountable for outcomes. Work to identify and solve problems thoughtfully and efficiently. Unanticipated things will always come up that need to be addressed. Think about risks that could impact the reputation of our company. Leverage the team to involve others when needed. Understand and focus on how your work affects the company. Do your best. Be proud when you succeed, and honest and transparent when things go wrong. Own your mistakes and learn from them. Endeavor to learn and improve yourself each day. Care for our equipment, tools, and resources. Treat them like your own and work to prevent fraud, waste, and abuse. So in summary, think like an owner and be engaged. Every decision you make shapes our future. Put safety first, deliver quality, and strive for excellence. Take ownership, solve problems, keep growing. When you act with pride, integrity, and a purpose, you drive success for yourself, the team, and our company. I think that was well said by Ben. And thanks, Ben, for his contributions to our success as well. And we'll do our best to follow his words here. Moving on to the equipment focus for the week, we got rental equipment inspection and documentation. If any of the mechanics want to speak up and help me with this, just chime in. But if not, I'll just kind of keep going through. When a new piece of equipment or a rental piece of equipment arrives on our job, please take a moment to document its condition. Use the inspection form in Fleetio. Hopefully that's not new for anyone, but again, Fleetio, that app. We're doing our fuel stuff. We're doing equipment inspection. There's also a tab in there called equipment photo log. So take the photos, put them in there. This step is important for rental equipment. Many of our crews have been doing a good job with this process, and it has helped us avoid unnecessary charges from rental companies for damage that was not caused by us. So some quick key reminders: inspect all equipment immediately upon arrival. Look for visual damage, leaks, missing parts, or unsafe conditions. Try to take clear photos of all sides of the equipment, including any existing damage. Try to complete that form inside Fleetio so we have a good documentation of it with timestamps, and add detailed notes. Report your findings to your supervisor, and then report any safety issues immediately with that piece of equipment as well. So reach out to our shop staff if you have questions or need guidance. Your attention to detail will make a big difference, making sure that we're not picking up an invoice that we shouldn't be picking up. Anyone have anything to add from the shop on that?
Yeah, that's a great job, Matt, but I agree. If something shows up on your job site and it doesn't look right, or it's broke or damaged, you gotta call us. Let's take note of it. Same goes for our equipment. Not only rental stuff, but what stuff we own.
Yep.
Give us a call. We're here. We'll fix it.
Yeah, thanks, Brad. I appreciate you jumping on. Hopefully everyone got the announcement that Sarah put out to the whole ECI Global this week. But again, just a friendly reminder, in a week from today at 11:30, we're going to have our 4th annual kickoff meeting. A lot of work's got put into this to hopefully come out of that meeting really motivated and focused to having an awesome 2026 construction season. So that's the intent. So lunch will be served, so don't eat before, but we're going to start meeting over at 99 Engineers Drive at 11:30. We will have some more to talk about on the wellness program. We've been working on a couple at least one kind of important thing on the wellness to try to strive to improve our overall physical fitness and overall health, mental health at Engineers Construction. We'll talk about more of that probably at the kickoff meeting, but we'll leave those here. All right, with that said, Ed, the project of the week, it sounds like it's going to be the central garage relocation in Barrie, Berlin.
Yeah, it is in Berlin.
Berlin.
Yeah, we just got started a few weeks ago, so but it's early on. But
Yeah.
we were contracted with PC Construction to perform the site work and paving for the new District 6 Central Garage. The new facility is 46,570 square feet. It includes a parts, office, break room, bathroom area, and a 12 bay garage. It's a green site located on Payne Turnpike in Berlin, and it encompasses just under 5 acres between the building footprint and the paved parking and drive and the landscape area. We mobilized to the site during the last week of February and started work the first week of March. ECI scope of work will take approximately 7 months. To date, we've installed obviously the erosion control measures, and we pushed off the 18 inches of snow cover that was there and stripped and stockpiled 3,000 cubic yards of topsoil. Now we're in the process of preparing for the concrete footing placement and the on-site 8,000 cubic yard earth cut to fill and importing 6,300 yards of grading labaro to bring the site to subgrade for gravel and paving. The site includes 3 acres of paved parking and driveway, which will be performed by ECI's paving crew. ECI's concrete crews will also provide a helping hand to install 4 separate exterior pads and 210 linear feet of integral curb and sidewalk. We're going to bring municipal sewer and water to the site or to the building, along with a new power service. On-site lighting will include 17 new streetlights. Stormwater will be treated with a new gravel wetland, which will collect stormwater from 13 new catch basins and 2,000 linear feet of storm pipe. We're looking forward to another successful project with PC Construction, which will include work from 3 disciplines or 3 of our disciplines. That's a plan view of the site itself. The existing site is just a huge, 10-acre field that the state owns right there. And you can see the gravel wetland in the bottom. Get the sewer and the water line profiles coming in from the street that we're going to bring and into the building. And then the next plan sheet shows elevations of the 4 sides of the new facility. You can see the 2 bottom elevations. It's actually the middle area is the office area, obviously, and then they're like drive-through bays, 6 on either side of the office facility. So pretty big upgrade for their garage. We got a few photos here. Like we're getting some footing prep there. You can see where we brought in the some grading the backfill or grading laboro. We're using those new entrance pieces rather than the normal erosion stone. You see the one we do have both on site, but those yellow pieces of plastic seem to work pretty well. But that's some of the erosion control stuff we've put in so far to date. Our LOD and some silt fence, little berm of topsoil there. There's a stockpile of topsoil that we've stripped. It's our temporary stormwater catchment system and blowing some temporary mulch out there. actually sitting in the building footprint right there, looking out to the south side of the site. Again, that's the building pad itself. We've left the building pad about a foot high, or actually up to concrete finish elevation. And once the walls are poured, we're going to take that foot off and use it backfilling the interior of the wall. That's our entrance into the building footprint. That'll be the last piece of wall that Harrison pours. The footing is obviously stone wrapped in fabric, which is a little bit of a goofy detail, wrapping it in fabric, but that's what the geotech report called for. So that's how we're building it. And the boys got the footing footprint painted out. And it looks like a nice little job right there.
Yeah, it looks really clean and organized.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I finally made it over there yesterday afternoon for the first time since they started, and the site looks really good. Chris Jenkins and his crew are doing a great job.
Yeah, it looks good. Looks professional, especially in the mud season that we got right now.
Yes.
It's been fun watching the last few weeks because it's at that stage where everything moves so fast that every time you go, it looks so much different than it did the time before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice job, crew. All right, quick one for the photo archives. We threw this one in for Ben. Translating plans and specs into reality can be challenging. Looks like Ben's got a little head scratcher. Trying to figure out how to make this one happen. Back in 1996 in his portable office. So we thought that was fun. All right, if you watch in a group setting, please send that over to Tom, please. Let's have a great day. Let's have a safe day. Let's drive safely, and let's have a good one. Thank you, everybody, for attending.